Hi, I'm Ritvi Vaja, a second year doctoral student from Navishna University. Majority of my work concentrates on neurodegeneration, how nutrition shapes brain health. Primarily, I work on Alzheimer's disease and how can we help bring into thoughts that actually accumulate into our mind, thereby processing the further emotions. In layman language, we may also think about it as adaptability of the brain, and in scientific language, we call it as neuroplasticity. Apart from my work domain, I have also been a part of writing club, which the Gen Zs these days tell. I am an international best-selling author of two novels, one of which was written on philosophy and another one on fiction. Apart from that, I have 18 plus academic papers published, 20 plus review papers on different areas of neuroscience. I was invited as a visiting research scholar at Rutgers University, New Jersey, where I mainly worked on brain cancer, which is also known as glioblastoma, and I worked on some parts of medulloblastoma as well. I am a member at International Society of Precision Health. Now, enough about me. This was just to give you an idea about who I am and on what I am working. We all know, and since a very young age, we all have been told that what you think shapes your future or what you are as a person. Not until when we reach adolescence, there are certain hormones secreted in our body which actually drives our thought of action, the way we process emotions, and the way we adapt ourselves to different kinds of environment around us. I know that many of us present over here might not be always privileged to have an experience of a positive microenvironment. Now, in my entire talk, I would be using certain scientific languages and I would try my best to break those languages into normal scientific terms or a layman language so every one of us sitting over here can understand. By environment or microenvironment, I mean that the surroundings over and above us define who we really are. Now, there are two terms, since the theme of this entire talk is utopia and synergy. By utopia and synergy, we mean to understand that it's a world which is very much synchronized, or in layman's language, we can call it as a perfect world. Now, why do perfect world imagination also exist? And the second term which I want to introduce you all to is neurodegeneration. Now, neurodegeneration is breakdown in normal language. Now, when brain does not properly function or the cells of the brain lose connection with each other, the term that doctors use these days is neurodegeneration. And if the neurodegeneration is at a starting point, or as it has just begun but not been able to be diagnosed, we call it as mild cognitive impairments or onset of bad neuroplasticity. Now, when I want to introduce you all to the term neuroplasticity, I want you to think about the brain as a forest. Now, if you enter a forest and then go to the new course, for me, entering a new forest would be like it is a new course. I do not know the ways, I do not know the routes, but on day one, I'll go and find routes. That is how my brain will develop in order to see that how can I navigate through the entire new forest. On day 2, I would be a little more familiar with it. On day 3, my brain knows, hey, you have to go this way. Why does this sudden change happens when you get familiar with known things? That is the entire concept of neuroplasticity. The way your brain adapts to the microenvironment and the way you tell your brain to adapt to the microenvironment, that is known as neuroplasticity. Now, there are two kinds of neuroplasticity. The first one is good neuroplasticity and the second one is bad. Now, anyone who would have good experiences, positive thoughts, having a good day, or someone who would have given you a treat, your body rewards itself, and when the body or your environment rewards yourself, you start forming stronger bonds within the brain. The brain is made up of cells which are known as neurons. Is everyone with me? Yes. So the brain has cells which are known as neurons. The neurons are connected with each other with synaptic branching. Let us not get into those scientific types of definitions, but those synaptic connections are strengthened as and when you have good experiences, positive experiences, good notes, etc. etc. However, when a human being encounters a bad memory, a bad experience, a toxic microenvironment, those connections starts to weaken. As soon as the connection starts to weaken, we term it as bad neuroplasticity. You have heard people with forgetfulness, that is known as Alzheimer's disease, or the onset of mild cognitive impairment. You might have seen people who would forget very quickly and people who forget slowly. Mostly it is observed in aged patients. So in these patients, the synaptic brain cells are not so well connected, and because of this, they experience a bad neuroplasticity. Now everyone knows about the famous cricketers Virat Kohli, Arijit Singh, that Mrs. Chetna Joshi just mentioned. What is one thing common among all of them? Because I'm very pretty sure when they were born, they did not know that they would be gonna reach this heights. So any one thing that is common in all of them? I want the audience to be interactive with me, or else I can go on speaking like this. Yes, what is the one common thing between all these famous stars? Progress, focus. Okay, I have one answer, focus. What else?
Daily discipline.
Daily?
Discipline.
Daily discipline, very good. Third one, I just need one more. I think we can relate focus and hard work together. Third point,
Positive mindset.
positive mindset. Correct. So if I wake up every day and if I start saying to myself that I am a billionaire, will that be enough?
No.
Why?
You're not taking any important actions towards it. You are just in your own.
Yes. So
Imagine.
our cue is this one. Even if you tell your mind that I am a billionaire, it won't accept it because your mind is yours. The moment you step out of your comfort zone, the mind starts to protect you. It won't let you do things which you tell your mind to do. So what is important is showing up for yourself and implementing. If I only say and show the willpower that I am a billionaire, that won't be enough. But if I wake up every day and work like a billionaire, then that willpower changes my neuroplasticity into adaptability, and slowly and steadily my actions would define me about who I am. Now, even if I'm not a billionaire, I would be working in that case, in that direction, and ultimately it would improve my daily habits, which would take me closer about becoming a billionaire. Is everyone with me? Yes. So now the next concept that I want to put into your minds is melatonin. Has anyone heard about melatonin? Sleep hormone. Who was that? I'm impressed. Engineering guys saying sleep hormone. Very nice. So melatonin in your brain, or when we were younger, we were told that Lord Shiva has a third eye. Everyone would be aware, right? What actually that third eye is? What actually is the third eye? I can take any random guesses, it's fine. Yes? Very nice, I'm so impressed. So the brain has a very tiny gland which is known as pineal gland. Now the pineal gland has very small structure which is known as suprachiasmatic nucleus. Suprachiasmatic nucleus is the one which releases melatonin. Now the twist and turn into this is melatonin is not released into daytime. As soon as the sun sets, melatonin is released. Now when melatonin is released, we all start feeling sleepy. Dinner के बाद नींद क्यों आती है? Melatonin levels are at peak. वो राइस की वजह से नहीं आती. ठीक है? हाँ. So point had been how melatonin is correlated with neuroplasticity or how we think. At our lab, we usually study patients with mild cognitive impairments and Alzheimer's disease and other sorts of neurodegenerative disorders. We have found that people who have just begun forgetfulness, they have very low levels of melatonin. So we wanted to go back and do reverse engineering. I am aware about things that these engineering guys do. You do something like reverse engineering? Yeah. So in science also we do reverse engineering. So I wanted to see कि अगर जिसको भूलने की आदत है उसका मेलेटोनिन लेवल्स लो है, तो अगर जिसको ऑलरेडी अल्जाइमर्स डायग्नोस हो चुका है, if I give melatonin to those patients, what are the differences? So we conducted a very long year study on mouse models. First we do on mouse models and then on clinical patients, and we find out that while giving clinical melatonin supplementation to the Alzheimer's patient and patients who suffer from MCI, their memory power improved by 85% and their cognitive dysfunction also declined. Apart from that, we also noted that thinkers who have the tendency to think very negatively about themselves and adapt to better or worse environmental cues, they were also given melatonin supplementation, and then it was found that the thinking process or the cognitive disabilities which they were earlier suffering from, they got very much reduced. So now I am very much confident that I have told you regarding two things. One is neuroplasticity and second is melatonin. We have also learned about subjects of neurodegeneration. So how can we identify or implement this into our utopian or synergistic society? Can I have one or two say me or guide me with the idea as per your knowledge that how can we implement this into our society? I'm a Gen Z only, I'll take any answers. Spreading awareness in young youth, okay, that could be one point. What else? The first one could be we can work in sync with our internal body circadian rhythms. If we spend, रात को बोलते हैं ना फोन नहीं देखना चाहिए अंधेरे में, उसका रीजन पता है किसी को? When you look at the phone in dark environments, melatonin is inhibited by light and it is increased at night time. So अगर आप artificial light होती है phone में and if you start seeing your phones, your melatonin levels diminish जो actually increase होना चाहिए रात पे, and that is why आपको 2-3 बजे तक नींद नहीं आती. That is the reason it has been said that you should avoid watching mobile phones in the darker environment. So the first cue is spreading awareness, and then second cue could be avoiding artificial light at night times. What is our third cue? We could promote learning at all ages, because if we promote learning at all ages, neuroplasticity could be improved. Why neuroplasticity could be improved? Because one, when learns or have new experiences, it creates new bonds under the brain cells, due to which neuroplasticity could be improved. What is our fourth and last cue? Can anyone take a guess? We live in a society where there are a lot of disagreements, not a harmonized environment. So if we want to inculcate a utopian society, accepting the flaws of everyone, harmonizing the disturbances that are present around us, and happily accepting what each individual has to offer should be the key. And that is how we can take redefining utopian society. Every night, melatonin orchestrates internal harmony by reforming the brain circuits, brain cells, and the connections. If a tiny single molecule can coordinate billions of neurons into rhythm, imagine what conscious coordination could do for billions of people. Correct? Is everyone with me?
Yes.
नहीं हो तो भी बोल सकते हो. Yeah. I leave this talk with 3 key takeaways. First is, we grow not in a constant stimulation but in stillness. Why do we say this? Because melatonin रात को secrete होता है, and every night is defined by its stillness. So when a person is calm or poised or still, it is important that growth happens at that very moment. Second, if the brain can rewire or adapt, so can the belief systems of the societies, and hereby we can shape the future. And the third one is, a utopian brain, or for that example, a utopian society is not hyperactive, it is synchronized. A lot of my work goes into Dr. Darshi Bakshi's lab at Navisha University, where we specifically work on cancer biology and neuroscience aspects. One last thing that I want you all to tell is, never ever let anyone define who you are, or never ever let anyone tell you that you are doing too much. If anyone says that you are doing too much, show them you can do even more, because you are the definer of your own life, and at the end only you would be responsible for the actions and the things that you do. Everyone is supposed to tell you one or the other thing. It is up to you how you take it or how you make it. You all have been a great audience. Thank you. That was my time.